Maybe you're going through the hardest moment of your life right now, and maybe no one around you has noticed. On the outside, everything seems okay, but inside there's a deafening noise that won't let you sleep. It's a chaos that doesn't warn you when it arrives. It comes suddenly, messes everything up, and leaves us trying to pick up the pieces of our soul. And the worst part is when you start doubting yourself, the faith that once sustained you. But what if I told you that it's precisely in this chaos that God draws closest? The truth is, there are pains that no one understands. Emotional wounds that seem invisible, spiritual crises you try to hide with an amen, exhausting family conflicts, debts that make you lose your footing. And while all this is happening, your prayer feels like it hits the ceiling and bounces back. The feeling of abandonment grows, and your mind starts screaming, "Where is God in all of this?" But what no one told you, and what maybe no one around you knows, is that God has never been closer than now. This video isn't just another generic religious content. Here, you will understand how to walk with God even when everything feels out of place. You'll discover a path that few know, but one that transforms chaos into direction, pain into clarity, and tears into strength. And I invite you to stay until the end, because what you're about to hear might be exactly what your soul has been silently asking for. And the best is yet to be revealed in the next few minutes. Walking with God isn't just about attending church or saying amen on autopilot. It's a daily, intimate, and practical choice, like walking beside a father who knows you better than you know yourself. It's keeping your heart soft even when logic screams otherwise. It's trusting when resources run out and leaning on a faith that doesn't depend on circumstances. It's knowing He's present even when God's silence feels deafening. And this kind of relationship changes everything, because it teaches you to keep going even when everything falls apart. Chaos isn't a side note in the journey. It's part of the process. And no, that's not a lack of faith. That's real life. Even the great men of God faced their own internal earthquakes. David was anointed king and still spent years running from a king who wanted to kill him. Paul preached salvation while being beaten and imprisoned unjustly. And Noah built an ark for years, mocked by everyone, without a single drop of rain in the sky. In other words, chaos doesn't cancel God's presence. It reveals who is truly walking with Him. If there's one thing these men teach us, it's that walking with God doesn't exempt us from pain. It sustains us through it. They didn't keep going because everything went right. They kept going despite everything going wrong. And if you look closely, you'll notice Enoch wasn't remembered for miracles, but because he walked with God. That says a lot. The world might be upside down, but those who walk with God carry a steadiness that chaos can't shake. And there's a secret in all of this, something you're about to understand more deeply now. In moments of deep pain, it's common for the mind to play tricks on us. The certainties we once held start to feel distant, and painful questions rise up in the silence. Does God really care about me? That doubt doesn't appear because you lack faith, but because you're human. It's hard to hold on to trust when everything around you collapses and the sky seems silent. In those moments, the heart begins to search for meaning in the middle of confusion and chaos. And when suffering drags on, the heart slowly shuts down without asking permission. That flame that once lit up everything now turns to embers, barely hanging on. Bitterness slips in quietly. Resentment whispers from the corners of your soul, and emotional numbness takes over without warning. The connection with God starts to feel distant, and what once was a joy to seek in Him now takes effort. Even saying a simple prayer feels heavy. It's a kind of spiritual exhaustion that eats away from the inside, silencing even the most sincere cries for help. But what few people realize is that there's hidden wisdom in this kind of disorder. It's in the darkest nights that our eyes learn to see more clearly. God doesn't need a perfect setting to act. Sometimes, He chooses the impossible setting to reveal Himself in the most intimate way. He's not far. He's teaching and understanding that changes how we face difficult days, because it shows that not all pain is loss. Some pain is actually the path. Walking with God in the middle of the storm starts with a decision to recognize that He is there, even when you feel absolutely nothing. There will be days when His presence won't feel like a chill down your spine, but like a silence that holds you up. And that takes spiritual maturity, because the kind of faith that survives chaos isn't based on emotion, but on conviction. You might feel alone, but the truth is that God never steps away. He's like the sun. Even behind the clouds, He's still there. And when the words don't come, pray anyway. God isn't interested in beautiful speeches. He listens to what comes from deep within your chest. Sometimes, a simple "help me" from a broken heart means more than a rehearsed prayer. You can cry, sit in silence, sigh. All of that is also prayer when it comes from the soul. A perfect example, David's Psalms. He screamed his pain, his anger, his doubt, and God heard. Because sincere prayer is a bridge, not a performance. Besides that, it's essential to seek the word like someone running to shelter. The Bible isn't just a book. It's an anchor in turbulent times. Passages like Isaiah 41 verse 10, Psalm 91, or Romans 8 verse 28 are lighthouses for the weary soul. But to hear Him, you also have to quiet the world. Turn down the noise of social media, the news, and other people's opinions, and turn up the volume of God's voice. If you can, surround yourself with people who lift you up, who pray with you, who remind you of His promises when your faith wavers. Because no one makes it through a storm by sailing alone. The desert is not the end of the road. It's the workshop where God builds stronger versions of who we are. It's there, far from the applause, that He forges faith, tests the heart, and shapes the soul. Does it hurt? Yes, but it's in the desert that faith stops being theory and becomes survival. Look at Moses. Before he could lead a nation to freedom, he had to be refined in silence for 40 years. And maybe what you're calling chaos today is actually God's training ground for your calling. Life's greatest pains often come right before life's greatest purposes. Joseph was betrayed, sold, wrongfully imprisoned, yet all of it was part of a plan he only understood later. From the outside, it looked like failure, but God saw a process. Every tear you've cried might be watering the roots of something massive that's still going to bloom. And here's the powerful thing. The deeper the hole, the stronger the foundation God may be laying inside of you. Chaos, as loud as it may be, might be the very place where heaven is working in silence. What looks like confusion could be alignment. What feels like a delay could be protection. What feels like rejection might actually be redirection. God never wastes pain. So if you're walking through the valley, know this. He's not just pulling you away from something. He may be preparing you for something your eyes can't see yet, but your next step might reveal. The kind of faith that truly sustains you isn't the one that demands explanations. It's the one that stands firm even when everything seems to make no sense at all. It's easy to trust when your bank account is full, your health is in check, and life is going according to plan. The real challenge is to keep saying yes to God when the days are dark, the prayers seem unanswered, and the road ahead is nothing but uncertainty. But that's exactly where the purest kind of faith is born, when logic dies, but your heart keeps believing anyway. That faith doesn't walk with the eyes, it walks with the Spirit. Jesus in Gethsemane is the greatest example of this. He knew what was coming. He knew the pain, the injustice, the cross, and yet, he prayed. He agonized. He sweat blood, but he didn't give up. He prayed with raw honesty. Father, if it's possible, take this cup from me, but let your will be done. That's faith in its rawest form. Faith that doesn't pretend to be strong. Faith that bleeds, but still stands. And when we look at that moment, we realize that true faith isn't the absence of fear, it's the presence of obedience. Walking with God often means walking in the dark while holding His hand, not knowing where He's leading you. And that's okay. It's not about having control. It's about having direction. It's not about seeing everything clearly. It's about trusting that He sees for you. Those who walk by faith learn to obey before they understand. And in that kind of journey, the miracle isn't just at the end. It's in every step taken, even when your heart is trembling. And if you've made it this far, it's because there's still something powerful waiting to be revealed. You may not realize it now, but there is a greater force holding you up, even in the middle of this chaos that feels endless. God hasn't stepped away. He is with you, right there, in the middle of the confusion, the pain, the uncertainty. He's not asking you to have all the answers. He just wants you to keep walking, even if it's slowly, even if it's through tears. Because those who walk with God are never alone, not even in the darkest valley of the soul. So right now, pause for a moment and do something symbolic, yet powerful. Take a deep breath. Feel this moment. If this word spoke to you, if it touched something deep inside, write in the comments, "I choose to walk with God." It might seem like just a phrase, but sometimes a simple decision like that is what starts a massive transformation. And you have no idea how many others will feel strengthened just by reading what you wrote. Because your faith also inspires. And if this video truly stirred something in you, share it with someone who needs to hear this. Maybe God is using you right now to reach a weary soul. Maybe what He's building in you today will be the answer to someone else tomorrow. So go ahead, write it out, without fear, with faith. I choose to walk with God. This is your step of faith today, and the journey continues.